Hey, it's Yuka. Apple announced 3 new M4 Macs last week, and in this video, we're testing out the new Mac Mini. M4 iMac and MacBook Pro videos are also on my channel, so you can go check that out after this video. Let's start off by talking about the new design of Mac Mini. It's less than half the size of the previous Mac Minis and now comes in 5 by 5 inches. Although it's smaller, the number of ports are the same, and now 2 of the USB-C ports are in the front side, as well as the high impedance headphone jack. This headphone jack can also be used as a line out to a speaker. Speaking of sound, this wasn't in any of the specs, but the onboard speakers on the Mac Mini is now much better than the previous models. I don't think I would use it to edit sound, but I would be happy to play some background music while I'm working if I'm using a monitor that doesn't have built-in speakers like the Pro Display XDR. On the back side, M4 models have 3 Thunderbolt 4s and M4 Pro models have 3 Thunderbolt 5s, and both models have a gigabit Ethernet and an HDMI port. Thunderbolt 5 is a fairly new generation, and there aren't many accessories available at this point that is compatible with it. It can handle double the transfer speeds from Thunderbolt 4, up to 120 gigabits per second. The new thermal design has a fan that dissipates heat from the bottom of the Mac Mini. It takes in air from the front and exhausts from the back side. The fan was really quiet, but the heat can be pretty intense, so make sure you have that in mind when you place it on your desk or by a wall. I love the new design and how it looks with the studio display, and my first thought was that I really wanted to place it on top of this stand. Unfortunately, this doesn't work because of the cables that are sticking out from the back, but it fits perfectly when you put it sideways. It's not the best looking because the Apple logo is now sideways as well. So I wish they can carve out a hole on the studio display, like on the bottom, so the cables can go through there. But for now, I think placing it by your monitor looks pretty cool. I'm sure that people will come out with accessories, or you could even 3D print a cradle for the back of your monitor, and I think that will be pretty cool as well. Now with the Mac Mini being so small, I know what you guys are thinking. You want to take it outside. Okay, so step 1 of this experiment is going to be, can I bring the Mac Mini and some accessories like a keyboard and a mouse and a portable monitor to, I don't know, work at a cafe if you're traveling? Can this be a setup that you can just bring with you? So this monitor is a little big, so you can obviously get a smaller one and make it a little bit more actually portable. This cable is so short. Let's see. And this monitor is like a really cheap one, so I don't know if, oh yeah, okay, it is working. Yeah, you can see it in the video, but it is working. Yeah, you can use your Mac Mini with a portable monitor. This is a no-brainer. So let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is, can you bring a Mac Mini with an iPad to make your portable workstation? So this one is actually a little bit tricky because you actually cannot start Mac mirroring from the iPad. It always has to come from the Mac side. And so if you didn't have the monitor, you would not be able to do that. I think maybe one workaround is like setting a keyboard shortcut to start mirroring, but I think you still need to select which iPad or Mac to mirror to. So I think it's not really realistic to just bring the iPad and your Mac. You kind of need some sort of monitor to be able to look and choose from a menu. You can't see, but the iPad is over here, and I'm gonna choose my M4 iPad Pro, and now it's mirrored. So this is nice. However, you can use the keyboard here, but not the trackpad, which is really annoying. So you also need a mouse or a different trackpad that connects to the Mac. So I would not recommend this setup. It's a little just all over the place. If you want to use the iPad as like a second monitor in addition to your first monitor, maybe that would work, but it's not the cleanest setup. So step 3 in this experiment is the Vision Pro. Can I take my Mac Mini and my Vision Pro to make the ultimate workstation? Let's find out. So now I am in Vision Pro. Okay, let's try to connect my Mac Mini to the Vision Pro. So what I need to do is go into here, Mac Virtual Display, M4 Mac Mini. Let's see. Oh my gosh, that was so fast. So now I have a screen and I didn't have to connect to an external monitor to do this. So I feel like this is such a cool way to have like the most powerful and maybe not the most compact, but really cool and futuristic looking portable workstation. Just to make it extra hard, I have shut down the Mac Mini first so that it's kind of a clean slate, and I am going to turn it on now. Okay, it is now turned on. And what I realized is that you have to kind of actually imagine a virtual screen, because the state of the Mac Mini right now is that it is in the login screen. So you cannot do Touch ID for the initial login. So you have to type your password and hit enter. Now you're logged in. Let's go in here, Mac Virtual Display, my Mac Mini, and voila, it is here. So I can now control everything and do all of my work in the Mac Mini and my Vision Pro without any extra monitors or anything like that. However, I was initially having issues with the connections and I was not sure what was going on, but once I restarted my Vision Pro, it started working. So you might have to do some sort of like troubleshoot when things are not going well. But yeah, it should work without anything. And even if you just plugged it in and turn on your Mac Mini, you should be able to put in your password, press enter without you seeing a monitor in real life, and then connect your Vision Pro to it wirelessly. The M4 Mac Mini I have for testing has 10-core CPU, 10-core GPU, and 16 gigabytes of memory. You can choose between the M4 or M4 Pro chip. Apple says that the CPU performance compared to M1 is up to 1.8 times faster, and from my test, it came out to be about 1.7x, so I would say this should be pretty accurate. For the GPU, Apple used World of Warcraft to compare and says it's up to 2.2x faster. My Metal benchmark came out to be about 1.8x compared to the M1. M4 Mac Mini starts from 16 gigs of memory and you can configure it up to 32 gigabytes. The memory bandwidth was 40 gigabits per second on the M1 and now is 120 gigabits per second on M4. I don't have an M4 Pro to test, but if you choose the M4 Pro model, you can choose from 12-core or 14-core CPU, 16 or 20-core GPU, and up to 64 gigabytes of memory, which has a 273 gigabits per second memory bandwidth, which is double that from M4. Mac Mini's best value is the base model, which is $599. The fact that you can get a 10-core CPU, 10-core GPU, 16 gigs memory Mac Mini for this price is really great, but the base model storage is 256 gigabytes. If you can, I would suggest going up to at least 512 gigabytes of storage and use an external SSD to manage most of your files. Even if you bump it up to 512 gigabytes of storage, this still comes out to $799 and is a really great machine to tackle anything from video editing to composing music. So that's it for my M4 Mac Mini first impressions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
I'm having the time of my life. Everything's going alright. Ooh, I just made them look twice. This is how it feels when you living that good life. I'm just living that good life. I'm just living that good